Chat, we're gonna watch the deep dive video. Let me for the new season. So yeah, this is the deep dive for season 9. I haven't watched it either. I'm imagining it's similar to what we already watched, but oh yeah, let me get this.
So with season, sorry, I can tell you're thinking she's not going to do it.
I'll just say some stuff, get it wrong, and then we'll break the ice. And we can say some more stuff. So
in season 9, players will experience a refreshed, revitalised. Sorry, just had a thought of seeing the video, and it's like someone else saying this bit because like you just cut me out entirely.
Season 9 has been a chance for us to reassess players' relationships with some of the world events that they spend so much of their sessions engaging with.
we had 2 kind of core areas that we wanted to approach. One was changes to the sandbox, adding new kind of chests into the world, refreshing some of our kind of core world events in the game. And then the second half was more around quality of life and kind of fixes and changes and improvements to the game as a whole.
In season 9, players will experience a refreshed, revitalised sandbox experience of that quintessential Sea of Thieves gameplay with a ton of opportunities on the horizon and a bunch of quality of life changes. In season 9, you can find the Chest of Fortune hiding in the vault at the Fort of Fortune, and cashing it in will get you a large golden reputation reward at the Gold Hoarders. But it also progresses a new commendation that will allow you to buy parts of the Fates of Fortune ship set. No matter how long you've been playing, how much gold you've got, how
This thing looks sick. This actually looks sick, and it's the good color scheme. I'm definitely rocking this thing. This thing's dope. I actually think this is one of the coolest ship sets, straight up. Like, I actually think this thing is, well, I mean, obviously you need the DA sales, but I think this thing looks sick. Good color combo. Yeah, this is awesome.
how much reputation, everybody's going to want to get their hands on this chest. We are going to be adding grades to those commendations in the future.
So that says Canon Reaper's Chest or Reaper's Bounties to the Reaper's Bones. Oh, but that's the other one. Canon Chest of Fortune to the Gold Hoarders, 2 out of 30. So that means there's going to be a ton of these, hopefully. I hope you have to get all of this. I hope you have to get all of them to get the whole set. So that, like, only, like, super dedicated thieves get all this stuff. I guess you don't have to steal it, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so grade 5 is going to be, like... Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I hope that you have to get grade 5 to get all the stuff. We'll see.
Are going to be adding grades to those commendations in the future that will let you unlock more parts of the set. But keep an eye on that Chest of Fortune, because in future seasons it will move around. It may not always be at the Fort of Fortune.
That's cool. Mix
We've
it up
locked
a
kind
little
of one
bit.
half of the cosmetics behind the Chest of Fortune, but then we really loved when we first put the Reaper's Chest into the game for the first time, and we kind of had all this emerging gameplay around players trying to steal these Reaper's Chests from one another, and thought it'd be good to kind of revive that and kind of tweak the gameplay a little bit. So we've made it so that the beacon on the Reaper's Chest and the Reaper's Bounty Chest, they're just permanently on now. As soon as you pick that up, you're a permanent beacon for other players in the world. But if you cash in enough of those chests, like the Chest of Fortune, you'll be able to get these.
I like how they have these here, chat. I don't know if Rare did this on purpose or they're just not thinking about it, but what do we know about people bringing Reaper's chests to the turn-in and you can't turn it in here? So you got these 2 guys. You got these 2 guys with Reaper's chests at Sanctuary and you can't even turn it in.
Like the Chest of Fortune, you'll be able to get these unique cosmetics as well.
World events are a staple of the Sea of Thieves experience, but
No. Get this out of here.
they have historically been balanced for our larger crew sizes. We wanted to kind of trim the fat a little bit, get rid of some of the frustration. As part of that, we took the opportunity to make sure that they scale for the amount of players who are nearby and taking part. The Fort of Fortune was definitely our longest world event in terms of the time it was taking players to complete, which is an achievement for those that managed it, but not necessarily achievable for the vast majority of players in Sea of Thieves. So we wanted to shrink that down and also just take some of the rough edges off.
As part of the Fort of Fortune experience, the rebalance Balanced Ashen Lord is now placed on there as well, so you've got your final boss at the end. They were set up as a 4-player world event, really, so for the big crews. But when you got down to like lower numbers of players, like 1 player, 2 player, you felt like a bullet sponge. The abilities wouldn't kick off as readily, so it didn't feel...
Hang on.
Lower numbers of players, like 1 player, 2 player, you felt like a bullet sponge. The abilities
Oh, I think the UI is off.
wouldn't kick off as readily, so it didn't feel as fast-paced and as sweat-inducing as we wanted. So with this new system that we've got in, which scales towards the amount of players, he's kicking off his abilities quickly, throwing grenades, knocking back. It's just a bit more frantic, a bit shorter.
Pistol
He doesn't feel like a
PvE.
sponge
You don't know anything
anymore.
about it.
One of the rewards that you get for completing the event is the Ashen Wind Skull. Flamethrower, he opens up his mouth, he's flamethrowing everywhere, it's awesome. But the thing is, single players never really get
How's that go?
He opens up his mouth, he's flamethrowing everywhere, it's awesome. But the thing is, single players never really got to experience it so much. So now, if you defeat the Ashen Lord, you found a 10-minute experience, we hope. Get your hands on the Ashen Wind Skull and you can go setting skeletons on fire, setting ships on fire, and enjoying yourself across the seas as a single player, burning things, basically.
Burning.
Another thing that we wanted to do as part of this refresh to the sandbox was bring back the ghost ship fleet battle. We've now removed Flameheart from that encounter, so that same kind of naval-based battle is there for players to kind of take part in, which is great to have it back. 'Cause in its time away, we only had one kind of naval-based world event, and all the rest of them were kind of land-based. But now having the ghost ship fleets back in again, it gives us that nice variety back on the seas.
So for pirate legends out there with spare doubloons,
I'm curious if that tornado is the exact same looking tornado as the Athena one. I feel like it's a little bit different, but maybe I'm just thinking about it wrong.
can now buy 3 new special pirate legend voyages, either from Athena's Fortune or from the captaincy shop, that will allow you to go and do more specific activities on demand as a pirate legend. The Black Powder voyage allows you to go and stock up on gunpowder, stronghold gunpowder, firebombs.
Someone pointed this out, chat.
Captaincy shop that will allow you to go.
This guy doesn't die. Watch this. I saw a couple. Look at the guy in the back.
The voyage allows you to go and stock up on gunpowder, stronghold gunpowder.
Still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Hey, Greg.
Firebombs, you may even find some Athena's fireworks in there, just to allow you to use that in the sandbox however you wish. And there's a voyage for cursed treasure as well, where you'll be able to find those cursed chests. Again, great part of the sandbox that we think deserves a little bit more attention, and the way they mix up with the random nature of what you dig up and when during that voyage makes that really interesting. There's also a new cursed chest as part of that called the Chest of Boundless Sorrow, which will never stop weeping as well, so watch out for that one. And then there's the search for the Skull of Destiny, so this is very exciting. Players will get an Athena's Wayfinder that will send them to a nearby island where you dig up a Skull of Destiny.
The Fort of the Damned was always intended as sort of a harder experience for our really engaged players. An inadvertent consequence of the way we originally built it is that the hardest part of it was actually starting it. So we've given Pirate Legends access to the Skull of Destiny.
What's cool about it is it has all the different flames of fate all in one object. And it also doubles as a ritual skull. So players will have everything they need to start the Fort of the Damned.
Very good
We just
change.
wanted to make it more accessible so that there's more people engaging with the world events in Season 9, which means
Very
there's more
good
loot on the
change.
sea, which makes it a more emergent and better sandbox for players.
Incredibly good change.
We've been working with our partners at Lucid Games on bringing a bunch of new great quality of life features for Season 9. They've been absolutely nailing it. They've added tons of new content. Usually we're so focused on these kind of big overarching changes to Sea of Thieves, and there's all these kind of opportunities to improve the game elsewhere. With Season 9, we've had that kind of huge focus on it.
A few of the quality of life fixes we've added in this update include a volume slider for the hit stings that you get when players hit an enemy ship with the cannonball, the little diddle-in-it. You will now be able to independently adjust to the volume of that, even if you've got your music volume turned all the way down. We've also made it so that any loot from a ship that is sunk to the Red Sea will now respawn further into the safe areas of the Sea of
They put the
Thieves.
chest
So
of legends in
no
there,
longer
too,
do those Red Sea runners get away with denying you their treasure.
We've added in seagulls now, so when a player's ship sinks, any loot that they had on board was sometimes quite hard to find, especially if you're in like a PvP battle and the jettison barrels kind of float up, but you can't quite see them in the distance. There's now seagulls above all of that loot.
You can now take emissary flags earned by sinking other ships to an outpost and cash them in with a skeleton that hangs above the Reaper's emissary table. The Guardians of Fortune had a really easy way of cashing in their flags at the mysterious stranger who's in every tavern on every outpost. We just wanted to make sort of the Season 8 PvP factions a little bit more aligned with each other.
Adelric is our new character that has just joined the Hunter's Call. He's kind of just become old enough to step into his Uncle Merrick's shoes. Big shoes to fill, but he's going to try his best to do it. So players can now cash in for the Hunter's Call at Stephen's Spoils again.
We've added a new bait box for the Hunter's Call that allows players to kind of purchase a crate full of bait so they can go on these fishing trips really quickly.
The Sovereigns will now take deliveries of Hunter's Call items as well and cash those in for you. But the Hunter's Call, they still really want those direct deliveries to Seapost, so they'll offer you a bonus on the gold if you take it straight.
That's cool.
To
They
them.
let you do either with the way you want it. Yeah.
Perhaps my favourite one that we've finally got round to doing is correctly randomising the outpost that you spawn at the beginning of a session. Gone are the days of constantly seeing Galleon's Grave and Daggertooth outpost, and sunnier skies lie ahead.
One of my best changes that we've added is the ability to sell items directly from...
So were they trying to say that it was always weighted toward those already? I thought personally that it was always because no one was in those areas that it pushed you there. That's what I thought. But then over the last like year, I noticed everyone's in the wilds. I feel like most of the time anyway. But it's probably because that's probably why everyone's in the wilds now that I'm thinking about it, because they were all spawning there. That makes too much sense now.
I collect this chest. Press one button and it just sells all the items inside that are relevant for that trader. It just makes everything so much quicker.
So my absolute favourite quality of life feature in Season 9 are the changes to the harpoon. So that's unified now, just like when you harpoon a player in and they land immediately on the deck of the ship, now your treasure does too. It makes those harpoon moments just that lot more viable. If you're sailing past some treasure really quickly, sailing past some barrels of plenty, you've got the opportunity to grab a few more things. It's really fast, really efficient, and it feels amazing.
My favourite would be the Ashen Lord. Now, I might be a bit biased on that, but even though I've played it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, when the music's kicking in and he's doing his World's End ability and all the rocks are coming down, it's just so frantic and funny. I just love it.
So as you look out on the
Meteor
horizon,
storm.
you're seeing all these different world events appear. It just feels much more approachable and achievable now than ever before. Like, everything feels like a genuine opportunity that I want to go and engage with. And that just feels like the sandbox becomes so much richer because I just want to take part in everything.
All these individual features that we're bringing in as part of Season 9 are really greater than the sum of their parts when they work together. So you set sail in Season 9 and maybe you're holding a Skull of Destiny, you're about to go and light the Flames of Fate at the Fort of the Damned. When you see a beacon on the horizon, someone's picked up a Reaper's chest and maybe you want to go after that to get those Fates of Fortune weapon set. But then you see the Fort of Fortune's just started as well, the clouds just appeared for that, so maybe you want to go after that. And really is this wealth of choice and experiences for players in that quintessential Sea of Thieves sandbox way.
March 16th. Yeah, that looks sick. I gotta say, chat, I mean, you know, obviously it's exciting for me as a content creator and a streamer. It's my job to get updates and to try to stay hype about the game, but I'm really excited to see how many people actually do world events again. Like, cause that's always been my biggest thing, is like looking for people doing world events. Looking for people doing Fort of the Dams. Like, I feel like this is gonna make things go. Like, I feel like content's pumping. You know what I'm saying? I feel like content is gonna be pumping on the Pace 22 channel, so I'm excited for that personally. I hope it's fun for you guys
real
too.
pirates, this update be packed.
I think for me, this is going to be fantastic. So, yeah. If you want to see the best content in Season 9, you know where to go. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the YouTube video today. On the way out, don't forget to follow the social media, my Twitter, my Instagram. If you've not already, please remember to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Thank you all very much. See you on the next video.